Hey, today is Tuesday, August 21st, 2018. 1 week from my brain surgery, which is scheduled for August 28th. Yesterday, my husband, Daryl, and I met with Dr. Floyd, the neurosurgeon who will be performing the surgery. He was able to address and answer a lot of our concerns and questions. So I think we're both feeling a little bit more at ease about the upcoming surgery and just what we may be looking at as far as recovery. I do have some of this stuff written down because I wanted to make sure that I remembered all the information and was able to provide things in an accurate way. So if it looks like I'm reading off of something, that's why, because I am. All right, so Dr. Floyd says that the surgery will probably last approximately 4 hours. Once the tumor is removed, it will be biopsied. The results from that should be in about a week. And at that point, we'll be able to confirm that it is benign. Dr. Floyd expects that I'll probably be in the hospital after the surgery for about 5 to 7 days before I return home. And he's thinking the overall recovery time will probably be about 6 weeks. And that's if there's no complications. He's thinking it'll probably be about a 2-week recovery for the skin incision area. Dr. Floyd says that I will probably continue taking the keppra for at least about a year while I continue to follow up with him and his team, having some follow-up MRIs just to make sure that the brain is healing the way it should be after the surgery. He also said I'll probably continue seeing him for quite a while after that, and having at least annual MRIs for a while, just to continue to monitor things. Okay, so possible risks or concerns with this is due to the location of the tumor. I guess there's some small blood vessels that are actually feeding the tumor itself, and next to that there's some larger blood vessels that are actually feeding areas of the brain in that same area. So he said, making sure to, while he's cutting all that away and out, there is a slight possibility that some of those larger blood vessels could be possibly affected, which would affect that area of the brain, which is primarily, I guess, the motor and sensory areas, which would affect, I guess, math type skills, as well as just some feeling and sensation, possible movement on the left side of my body, mostly the upper extremities, like in my arms and hands and fingers. He said there's about a 1 to 2% chance of suffering a stroke. Although he said if that was to occur, it would probably be very minor, and the recovery time for that would probably be fairly quick, to where I was no longer suffering any effects from that. Dr. Floyd did say that the possibility of further seizures is probably at about 50%, which I think is one of the reasons why I'll be continuing the keppra and continuing to follow up with him and having the MRIs done, just to kind of monitor how the brain is healing. As he explained to us, I guess the seizures occur more from inside the brain, and the meningioma, since it is on the surface of the brain, when he removes that, it won't actually be removing anything from the brain itself, so therefore the possibility of seizure still continues, or remains. So yeah, we asked him about, my being able to return to normal activities and driving specifically. He said that per law, he believes there's a 3-month waiting period following having a seizure, especially having a seizure while driving, that I need to wait before I can retake my driver's test, to try and get a driver's license. He said that the brain surgery itself won't really impact that waiting period. He said it doesn't start over at the time of the brain surgery. It's still 3 months from the date of the seizure itself. So that was a good thing, because I was thinking it might be quite a bit longer. Although since I still have my right leg in the walking boot due to the calcaneus fracture, I'm guessing I'll kind of have to wait for that to heal anyway, so before I can actually start driving, or trying to retake the driver's test. So yeah, in preparation for the surgery itself, he said there's not a whole lot that we need to do. His primary instruction was just to avoid any medications that may act as a blood thinner. So no ibuprofen, no aspirin, no fish oil, no herbal supplements or homeopathic medications, and no garlic, which I found very interesting, and was glad that he specifically pointed that one out, because I eat garlic in almost everything. So it was good to know to cut that out of my diet here for at least the next week until after the brain surgery. So he said the incision mark itself will kind of look like a question mark. So it sounds like, the way he described it, it's going to go kind of above and possibly behind or around my right ear a bit, and it's going to go up and then kind of down across the top of my head. He says that he does use a method to where he doesn't usually have to shave much of the hair. So he does try and save as much as possible, which I thought was, pretty nice. Although I will say that I've already come to terms with the fact that this is not something I'm going to be ashamed of, and whatever scar I have is just going to be a part of me, and I'm not going to necessarily go out of my way to try and hide that, or be embarrassed or ashamed of it. But I am glad that I don't have to shave my entire head for the surgery. So yeah, that's about it, I think, for the appointment. He seems, just really good, really informative, really just really knowledgeable about his field, and I don't really have a whole lot of concern about going into surgery. And then on another side note, on this past Saturday, my parents pitched in and were able to get us a used vehicle. So we have a 2008 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So we're really excited about that, and that has just allowed us so much extra freedom and self-reliance, not having to depend on other people quite as much just for basic everyday things, running to the store, just running any sorts of errands, and also that allows us an opportunity to be able to start actually driving around and looking at some homes that are available for rent, so that we can continue planning our move, which is still kind of up in the air. I mean, we know it's going to be sometime soon, we just don't know when. But at least this allows us the opportunity to begin actually driving around and looking. So thank you so much, Mom and Dad, for all your help. And yeah, we'll be keeping everyone informed. I will try and do one more video before my surgery date, and then following surgery, once I begin the healing process, I will be doing additional videos as well, just to kind of keep everyone updated on the recovery and how things are going. So again, I greatly appreciate everyone's support and words of encouragement, and just really appreciate everybody continuing to share our story and contribute to helping us during all this time of these challenges that we are faced with. But things are definitely looking up, and we are moving forward. So we'll keep everybody updated. And thanks again. Love you all.